Today we have a first look at the all-new 2026 Subaru Forester Wilderness and the first ever Forester Hybrid. That's coming up right now on Driving Sports TV. If you saw the new 2025 Forester and you were saying, you know, I was hoping for a little bit more. Well, today there is a lot more to talk about as we have a first look at two very exciting models. First, let's take a look at this new Forester Wilderness. This 2026 model brings the Wilderness trim to an all-new Forester architecture, and along with it, a lot more capability. That extra capability starts with the design of the chassis. Here, ground clearance has been increased to 9.3 inches. That's almost as much as the Outback Wilderness. Approach angle is now 23.5 degrees and departure is 25.5. Both these numbers are actually better than the Outback Wilderness. Breakover is a near identical 21 degrees. Altogether, this makes for a much more capable machine, whether you're driving through very deep snow or climbing slippery rock surfaces. Of course, Subaru's active torque split symmetrical all-wheel drive system is standard, and it's enhanced here with the dual X-mode system for extra off-road capability. This uses a center clutch to vary power front to back. It has a nominal 60-40 split, but of course shifts power as needed. And get this, like the Subaru Outback Wilderness, this one finally has an X-mode that supports speeds at over 25 miles per hour. I guess you could say it's a three-way X-mode, although officially they still call it dual mode X-mode. Because this is based on the new Forester, the all-wheel drive system here is actually more responsive, and it uses more data points to shift power. Plus, the CVT can now detect gradients to switch into a low ratio mode when needed. What's that like? We'll have to wait to drive it in the coming months. Like before, it still has underbody protection and a spare tire, though the spare isn't full size. If you were hoping for a turbo Forester, sorry to say, that's not happening. Hybrid? We'll talk about that later in this video. In the Wilderness here, power comes from the same 2.5-liter engine found in the standard 2025 Forester. It makes a peak 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. On the outside, there's a number of cues that really help differentiate this from the standard Forester and say this is a Wilderness. From the decal on the hood, which cuts down on glare, to the Yokohama Geolandar all-terrain trail tires. On the top, roof rails are standard. Subaru claims a maximum static load of 800 pounds, or 176 pounds when moving. This makes it a solid choice if you want to roll with a rooftop tent. Like other Wilderness trims, there are indicators both for tie-downs on the roof, as well as where you can insert loops for recovery. And hexagonal fog lights. I have to admit, I didn't love the grille work on the new 2025 Forester, but I think here it works better. It's more understated and it creates some nice lines. Also, love the driving lights. Those look really cool. In the back is a 60-40 folding seat. You get up to 69.1 cubic feet of cargo capacity in the back. We get this nice all-weather mat. Under the floor is a spare tire. Now, unfortunately, this is not actually a matching full size. However, thank goodness they actually gave a spare tire. So many car companies are just putting in fix-a-flat, and that doesn't work as well on the trail. Can you fit a full size back here? Well, yes, but you're going to have to get rid of your floor stuff because it just doesn't fit flush. Now, we also have upgraded sound in this particular trim, so it has a Harman Kardon sub back here. And we also get easy releases for the second row, which is very nice. So can you sleep in it? Let's check. Oh yeah, plenty of room for my legs. It's totally flat. This is great. Even have a nice sunroof there. On the inside, we get an interior that is very much like you would expect in a Subaru Forester Wilderness. It has the kind of anodized copper accents everywhere. But what they've changed here, I actually rather like. We have the new dash materials up here. We have a new center console area here with a slot for my phone, which is nice. This also has a wireless charging pad there. Now this does have a CVT and you can control it here, as well as go into a manual mode, which you can then use the paddle shifters to switch your gears. And this one is also equipped with a front view camera. It looks like it's a potato camera, just like the older version as well. So it's kind of low res, which is unfortunate, but I am happy to see a front camera here at least. The biggest news on the interior is this new digital gauge cluster, and you have a lot of options you can play with here. Over in the vertical touchscreen, you can click the car icon and then go to more settings, and from here you can change what display view you want to have, either normal, map, or eyesight. My favorite is probably normal. I like to see the dials. And if you have maps set up, it'll either do the integrated maps or you can also project maps from wireless Apple CarPlay, which is cool. All new Foresters do come with the latest Subaru EyeSight system. This one has been enhanced with a number of features that are kind of neat. If the driver becomes incapacitated and you're using adaptive cruise control, it'll actually pull the vehicle over and contact emergency services. That's pretty neat. Of course, you also get adaptive cruise control with lane centering, collision mitigation, and it also has blind spot warning and rear cross traffic alerts. Yeah, overall, I like this interior. Feels nice, it's comfortable, has the same great seats as other Wilderness models, and yeah, can't wait to drive this thing. In the second row, we get mud mats on the floor. We have the synthetic StarTex material, which I rather like. I actually do own a Crosstrek Sport that has this material. Bought it in 2020, and I've really enjoyed that vehicle. Now, in the middle here, we get a fold-down armrest with cup holders, and here we have vents in the second row, plus both USB-A and USB-C sockets. There are a couple blanks here. Those are probably for seat warmers that are not on this particular tester. And that's our first look at this all-new 2026 Subaru Forester Wilderness. I can't wait to get this on our Anaconda Trail and see if it can make it all the way to the top. That'll happen later this year. And this should be hitting dealers probably in the fall. But I'm not done yet. We have one more Forester to take a look at. Earlier in this video, I did tease that there would be a hybrid version coming, and yeah, here it is, the 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid. It's looking to take a chunk out of the very fast-growing hybrid crossover market. But this isn't Subaru's first hybrid in the US market. That honor goes to the Crosstrek Hybrid, which premiered in 2013. We actually drove it through Iceland, which was amazing. And then in 2019, there was a plug-in hybrid version of the Crosstrek. Well, finally, we have the Forester Hybrid. As for looks, it's basically the same as a normal 2025 Forester. One difference though is you can get this with a blacked out roofline, which I think looks pretty good. Of course, it also has special badging and wheels. Like the standard Forester, the Hybrid here maintains Subaru's normal 8.7 inches of ground clearance, and it even has Subaru's active symmetrical all-wheel drive. This does not use a dedicated rear electric motor like what you would find in a RAV4. Instead, Subaru has two electric motors integrated into the transmission. This is the newest version of their series parallel architecture, which ties into the mechanical symmetrical all-wheel drive system. That means you get the same level of capability as a standard 2025 Forester, but here with an electric boost and improved economy. The gas engine is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder boxer with a Miller-Atkinson cycle. It's combined with a couple of electric motors for a total output of 194 horsepower. Torque also gets a significant bump as the electric motor alone produces 199 pound-feet of it. The battery is a small 1.1 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion unit, and it's stored under the rear floor. So unfortunately, no room for a spare here, but you do get a fix-a-flat kit mounted in the side. Economy here is rated at a combined 35 miles to the gallon. Considering the 16.6-gallon fuel tank, your bladder will give out on road trips long before you run out of fuel. Calculated range is 581 miles between refills. Single mode X mode is standard, upper trims have dual mode. Like all other Subarus, this is a full-time all-wheel drive system. The interior looks very much like the standard Forester we reviewed in 2024, but now it has a digital gauge cluster with dedicated hybrid info panels and integrated maps. The Hybrid Forester will go on sale later this spring in 4 different trim levels: Premium, Sport, Limited, and Touring. All new Foresters come with Subaru's EyeSight safety system with collision mitigation, adaptive cruise control, and lane centering tech. This is a 3-camera system that is integrated by the rearview mirror. I think this new hybrid model is a much needed addition to the Forester lineup. And then of course the Wilderness, yeah, I can't wait to drive both of them. Which would you pick, the new Forester Hybrid or the new Wilderness? Post a comment below. And of course, we'll drive both of these later this year and have full reviews on them, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again right here real soon.